it's Miss Roosevelt and welcome to Colors of Lily. I am so excited because I crocheted this really nice beanie cap that I want to share with you. It's really quick and easy. It's a great beginner's project, so don't be afraid to try the pattern. I used some red heart yarn that I upcycled from a project that I didn't finish a long time ago. I used a number 10 J hook, and it's a 6mm crochet hook, a tapestry needle to weave in the ends, and a pair of scissors to clip the ends. I'm starting this project by placing a loop in the yarn. To place a loop in the yarn, I am crossing the yarn over to form a loop. Then I am going to push the long tail through the loop. I'm going to pull it up, and that's going to tighten the yarn. Now you have your loop. I'm going to take my crochet hook and slide it through that loop. Now I am going to chain 4. And to chain, you just place the yarn over the loop and pull the hook through the loop that's on the hook. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and pull through. And you do that a total of 4 times. Once you have your 4 chains, then we are going to do 11 double crochets in the very first chain. Going to yarn over, place the crochet hook in the first chain, yarn over again, and pull the yarn through. There'll be 3 loops on the hook. You're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 1. We're going to do that 11 times. Once you finish your 11 chains, the chain 3 that's remaining, that will be counted as your 12th double crochet. So we are going to slip stitch in the top of the 3rd chain. We're going to do a slip stitch. We're going to chain 3. This is going to be your first double crochet. We are going to add another double crochet right into the same stitch. So I'm going to go right in this little peephole here. Double crochet. And then I am going to do 2 double crochets in each of the remaining stitches. So we will have a total of 24 double crochets. Once I have my 24 stitches, I am going to do a slip stitch in the top of the chain 3. Now is a good place to stop and check your gauge to make sure you're pretty good with the project. Lay your ruler right in the middle of your project, and you should be somewhere around 3 inches. I am a little shy of 3 inches, which is a little okay, just telling me that I need to loosen up on my tension some, but you don't want to be way over 3 inches or way under 3 inches. You need to continue increasing this circle. So now we're going to chain 3. Now we're going to add a double crochet in the same stitch as the chain. Just gonna go right in that little peekaboo space, double crochet. Then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next stitch, 2 in the next one, 1 in the next stitch, and we're just going to complete that pattern all the way around. It's going to be 2, then 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, so forth. And we should have 36 double crochets at the end of this round. When you complete your round, it's a very good idea to go back and just count your double crochets and make sure you have 36. We're going to do a slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 space, chain 3, and we're going to continue increasing. Now we're going to add a double crochet in the same stitch as the chain, add a double crochet in the next 2 spaces, then in the next space we are going to add 2 double crochets. So now we're doing 2 and 1, and then 1 in the next 2, and that's giving us an increase, and we should have 48 double crochets when we finish this. So we have 2, then 1, 1, 2, 1, 1. I'm going to slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 space, chain 3, now we're going to do a double crochet in the same space as the chain. I'm going to add a double crochet in the next 3 spaces. Now we're going to have 2 double crochets in the next space, and that's going to be our pattern. 2 in one space, and then 1 double crochet in the next 3 spaces. And you're going to continue that pattern around, and you should have 60 double crochets when you finish this round. And we're finishing round 5. You should have 60 double crochets. I'm going to do a slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 space, chain 3, and I am going to do a double crochet in each of the double crochets, so we should have 60 double crochets. Round 7, I'm going to chain 3, and then I am going to do a cluster stitch right in this next, in the top of the next double crochet. So I'm going to yarn over, take my hook through the stitch, grab the yarn, pull through. I'm going to yarn over and pull that yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. There's going to be a remaining 2 loops still on the hook. I'm going to yarn over again. I'm going to take my hook through the same stitch, pull the yarn up on the loop, yarn over. Now I'm going to pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. and I've done it twice. Now I have 3 loops on the hook, so that's how you can pretty much tell what stitch you're on. I am going to do this a total of 5 times, so I have 6 loops on the hook. Yarn over, go through the same stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull the yarn through the first 2 loops, yarn over, go through the same stitch, pull the yarn up, yarn over, pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. I've done it 4 times, so I have 5 loops on the hook. I'm going to yarn over, take the hook through the same stitch, pull the yarn up, yarn over, and pull the yarn through the first 2 loops on the hook. Now I have a total of 6 loops on the hook. Now I'm going to yarn over and pull the yarn through all 6 loops, and that creates a nice little cluster there. In the next stitch, I am going to use a double crochet. Next stitch, I'm going to do another cluster. So I'm going to yarn over, take through, pull through the first 2 loops on the hook. And I'm going to do this 5 times in this stitch. And that is going to be the pattern for round 7. I'm going to do another double crochet and then a cluster. And I'm going to continue with this pattern all the way around. A double crochet, then a cluster, a double crochet, and then a cluster. You should end with a cluster in the top of the 60th double crochet. Once I complete the last cluster, I just slip stitch in top of the chain 3 space. I'm going to chain 1, and I am going to do a single crochet in each of the stitches across. That'll be 60 single crochets. I've just finished my last single crochet. I am going to slip stitch in the chain 1 space. Now I'm going to chain 3. And now I'm going to repeat a row of clusters and double crochets. So I'm going to do a cluster in the first stitch. And then I'm going to double crochet in the next stitch. I'm going to finish that all the way around, and we're going to end with a cluster as the last stitch. So I just finished my last cluster stitch, and I am going to do a slip stitch in the top of the chain 3. I'm going to chain 1 and then do single crochets in each of the stitches. So I have 60 single crochets. I'm going to end this row with a slip stitch right in the chain 1 space. Everything's starting to come in kind of like a bowl. The head is really shaping up. Now I'm going to chain 3, and now I'm going to repeat that cluster row, I'm going to do a cluster, then a double crochet, cluster, double crochet, all the way around to end with a cluster. I'm going to slip stitch in the top of the chain 3 space, chain 1, and I am going to do a single stitch in each of the stitches for a total of 60 single crochets. Now I'm slip stitching in the chain 1 space. Now I am going to chain 1. I'm going to do 10 single crochets. Once I have the 10 single crochets finished, I am going to crochet 2 single crochets together, and that's going to make a decrease. So I'm going to go into the first single crochet, pull the yarn up, go into that second single crochet, pull the yarn up. There'll be 3 loops on the hook. Then I want to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops, and that helps to decrease the hat so it can start tightening up. And I'm going to do 10 more single crochets. Then I'm going to double crochet 2 single crochets together. Again, I'm going to go in that single crochet, pull through, go in the very next single crochet, pull through. Then I'm going to pull the yarn through all 3 loops. And I'm going to continue that pattern around 10 single crochets and then a decrease. And that will leave you with 55 single crochets. To do the last decrease, I am going to do a slip stitch in that top of that chain 1 space. I'm going to chain 1 and I am going to do 2 rows of single crochets. And finish up that final round by slip stitching and tying off the hat. And snip the end. Pull through and tighten. And you can tie again just to secure it a little more. And then weave in your ends. Have a great day. Bye-bye.